What's up, people? Piz out here, and fair warning, this video may be a little meandering. You can thank Sudafed and Benadryl if it is, because today's been one of those days for me, a allergy sinus nightmare. I take Sudafed just about every day, but there's just some days where it's so bad I have to take a Benadryl, and when I have to take a Benadryl, that means the rest of my day is shot. It either knocks me out or it puts me in this fog, and I'm in a fog. I'm in a fog. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was actually doing some cleaning in the man cave. I'm not sure how well you can see back there, but I was doing some reorganizing and doing this and that and trying to make room and move stuff around. And as I was looking through some movies, I kept thinking to myself, oh, I remember seeing this movie on USA Up All Night. Oh, I remember seeing this movie on USA Up All Night. Oh, I remember this movie from USA Up All Night. And literally it was just, over and over. Like, oh, I remember seeing this movie on USA Up All Night. And I just started thinking about USA Up All Night. And I've talked about USA Up All Night on this channel, as well as over on the Sausage Factory, how much I loved USA Up All Night. Now, being a kid growing up, in the late 80s and early 90s, USA Up All Night to me was just must see TV. Friday night and Saturday night, it was USA Up All Night for me because they played the movies that I loved. And I also loved on Friday night it was hosted by Gilbert Godfrey. On Saturday night it was hosted by Rhonda Shear. So you had these kind of quirky hosts. And in between the movies, you would have like these sketches that they were both kind of in, or interviews, or just little interesting segments with the hosts. And then it'd be like, okay, and now back to, sorority babes at the Slime Ball Bowl-O-Rama. So it was just, when I would get off the bus on Friday, my night was set. I was eagerly anticipating USA Up All Night. Yes, that's the kind of life I had in, late 80s, early 90s, middle school, was get off the bus on Friday, come home, and, even at 3 o'clock, I'm getting ready for USA Up All Night, and it doesn't start. I don't think it started until 10, 11 o'clock on Friday night. And they would do these every Friday the 13th. Oh my God, I would so look forward to Friday the 13th. Not just because I was the horror guy, but because I knew it was going to be an all weekend long Friday the 13th marathon. So those Friday the 13th in particular, getting off the bus, going home, it was just like batten down the hatches. We're getting ready for, Friday the 13th marathon on USA. And literally what they would do Friday night, they would switch up the rotation a little bit. You'd usually get Friday the 13th 2, and then either 5, 7, and 8, or 1, 2, and 7 and 8. And then Saturday, during the day, you'd get them again, and then at night, you'd get them again, and then Sunday morning, they would start playing the same movies again. So by Sunday afternoon, it was over, and I can remember so vividly Sunday afternoon watching. It would close on Jason Takes Manhattan. And that was sort of my weekend capper. That was the sad Sunday afternoon, watching the end credits to Jason Takes Manhattan, and just knowing that Friday the 13th is over, the weekend is over, and now, it's back to school. So I have so many fond memories of USA Up All Night. And I was actually online just looking up USA Up All Night, and I was shocked to discover that they had done 900 episodes of USA Up All Night from 1988 to 1998. And I can remember toward the end, in the late 90s, what they had done was they basically had gotten rid of Rhonda Shear and Gilbert Gottfried. They were still doing USA Up All Night, they just didn't have hosts. They would just show the USA Up All Night promo, and they'd have, the movie start, and you'd have like, the for the commercial breaks, the logo pop up again, but you didn't have any, you didn't have Rhonda or Gilbert there to sort of guide you through the night. So definitely there was something missing there. From what I read, there was a change. USA changed, the president of USA Network changed, this fella named Diller, and he decided he wanted to class up the joint, and USA Up All Night just wasn't classy enough for him, so it got the axe, unfortunately. But I was looking through my collection, like I said, and just so many of those movies, I was like, yeah, I remember seeing that on USA Up All Night. I remember seeing that on USA Up All Night. And I actually went through, and I looked at just a very short list of movies that had played on USA Up All Night. And going through that list, I could remember watching that movie on USA Up All Night. There was one movie in particular. Oh my God, it's a really super low budget, really bad movie. I've not thought about this movie since probably the early 90s. It's called Dream a Little Evil, and they used to play it on Up All Night all the time. And I just saw it, and I read the name, and just memories flooded back to me of that movie on USA Up All Night. But here's just a short list of some of the movies that had played on USA Up All Night between 1988 and 1998. Creepshow, Critters, Fright Night 2, My Bloody Valentine, Basket Case, Body Double, Evil Dead, Chud 2, Night of the Creeps, Return to Horror High, Slugs, Spookies, Student Bodies, The Return of Swamp Thing, Alligator, Black Christmas, Mosquito, Waxwork. Great movies. And I just, I don't know what it is about. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, it was just the movies. It was the hosts. It was the segments between the movies. It was just so much fun. And it was kind of in that era of, what can we get away with on television as well. So Rhonda Shear's, Saturdays, USA Up All Nights were a little bit more, risque, and she'd have like Linnea Quigley and Jewel Shepard on there, and they'd be, very, very sensual. Just, we'll leave it at that. And keep in mind, I mean, all these movies, a movie like Cheerleader Camp, for instance, which they used to play on there all the time, just hacked to pieces. There's no way you can edit a movie like that without just hacking it to pieces. And that TV cut was just hacked to pieces. And it was almost interesting to watch those movies edited for television and just kind of be like, oh, they definitely cut something out. Oh, oh gosh, they cut something huge out there. Yeah, just, oh man, just so many memories. I loved USA Up All Night. And I don't necessarily wish that it was still around, because I don't think it wouldn't be the same really. But it was very much of its time and place, late 80s, early 90s, on into, the later part of the 90s. But excellent television, so many great memories. And like I said, just maybe it's the antihistamines that just have me in this super nostalgic mood tonight. But just looking through my collection, like I said, I pulled out like Rush Week, and I was like, oh yeah, I love this movie, and USA Up All Night introduced me to it. Or a movie like Student Bodies, which was on USA Up All Night all the time. Girls Night Out, for God's sake. So many movies. I was just like, yeah, that's a USA Up All Nighter. That's a USA Up All Nighter. Oh my, yep, that's a USA Up All Nighter. Chopping Mall. Oh goodness, so many great movies. So many great movies. If you guys out there were around during USA Up All Night, please tell me what some of your favorite movies were that you saw on USA Up All Night. What movies did USA Up All Night introduce you to that have become your favorite films? And just let me know in the comments section below. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Take care, and until next time, peace.